Hello beautiful people and welcome back to Life of a Dreamer. My name is Darian Wright. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. So today I am bringing you guys one of the most random videos ever, especially on my channel. But a few weeks ago I was having some car problems and I decided, hey, if this problem isn't super complicated, I may not have to take my car into the mechanic. So I got online after getting a reading from Autozone, found out I could handle this issue myself, and here we are. So stay tuned if you guys want to find out how to change your throttle position sensor. To remove the bolts from my engine cover, I'm going to be using this 10mm socket. I just attached that to this extension bar and attached that to the ratchet to give me more room to work with. I mostly ended up using my Phillips head screwdriver, but I guess you could also use a flathead screwdriver if you need to. Also, these needle nose pliers really came in handy. You're also going to need some throttle body air intake cleaner. I got this for $6.99 at Autozone. And of course the new throttle position sensor that I also got from Autozone. So first I'm just going to start off by removing all the bolts to take off the engine cover. There are 6 altogether, so you just want to remove those and make sure you don't misplace them. After I remove the engine cover, I need to remove all of the parts that are blocking the throttle body so that I can clean that and also make a way so that I can replace the throttle position sensor. So I'm just unscrewing all of those parts and unhooking the connectors that are connecting the parts. Once I loosened the screw to this fastener, I was able to remove that tube that connects the throttle body to the air filters and just kind of get that out of the way so I could get in there and clean that throttle body. I removed the air filter completely so that I wouldn't get it dirty, and because I needed more room to work with, and I just ended up pushing that tube down a little bit to get it out the way. So now I'm just going to take that throttle body cleaner and spray that on a microfiber towel just to clean out that throttle body. The video that I watched to learn how to do this, the guy sprayed it in there and I was a little too scared to do that, so I'm just going to spray it on the towel. And as you can see, the towel is super dirty, so we're just going to take that and keep cleaning as best as we can, as far as we can get in there. There's a little latch thing on the right side of the throttle body that kind of opens that door, as you can see. So I'm just going to push that down and try to get in there as good as I can and clean as much as I can. The guy also took an old toothbrush and just kind of scrubbed around in there, I guess to clean up any harder gunk that he couldn't reach with the towel. So I did the same thing. So once I felt good about how clean I had gotten it, or as clean as I could get it, I just took the towel back in there to make sure there was no liquid or anything left in there and dried that out as good as I could. Now that the throttle body is all good and clean, we're going to move on to removing this connector thing piece. I'm not exactly sure what this thing is, but it is in the way of the throttle position sensor, so we have to remove this so that we can actually get to the sensor and replace it. Once those top and bottom screws of that piece are removed, you're just going to want to make sure that you disconnect it and put that piece to the side for later. So once I was able to finally remove the screws from the old throttle position sensor, all I did was unhook that part. And as you can see, these screws are done for. This metal was so soft, I've never felt anything like it. These screws were stripped so bad, and all I did was use minimal force. What ended up happening was I shaved the plastic down. As you can see, it's super distorted. I shaved the plastic down around the screw and was able to loosen up the screw because the screws were pretty much melted into that plastic. There was no way I could remove them. So now that we finally removed the old throttle position sensor, here is the new one. It's from Duralast. I got this from Autozone and it was $49.99, so 50 something with tax, and this is what it looks like. So now I'm just going to attach that new throttle position sensor with some brand new screws. And the last thing to do is to reconnect that cable and then reconnect all of the things that we undid and put everything back the way we found it. I'm going to reconnect that air intake tube to the throttle body, tighten those screws up, and also put in the air filter and connect that tube back to the air filter as well and tighten those things up. I'm going to make sure to clamp that air filter down and make sure everything is back in place where it needs to be. So everything is back in its place and reconnected. The last thing I need to do is put the engine cover back on. I'm just gonna make sure that every bolt is tightened and everything is back in place, and I should be good to go. So the problem that I was having with my car a few weeks before all of this was my car would rev up, or it would stall or be jumpy whenever I pressed the gas, and that really scared me. So I took my car to Autozone and had them do a reading, and the error code that came up was P0123, and it didn't really say much in the reading, so I took it back home and Googled it and found out that that is related to the throttle position sensor, and I didn't know anything about that. So I read up on it, and it just said that something was wrong with the sensor and that it needed to be replaced, and I figured that was simple enough. So here we are. So that is it, beautiful people. That is how you change your throttle position sensor. I have learned so much about cars and sensors and parts after spending all this time at the auto store and ordering things, but it's a super simple, like straightforward repair. I hope this was able to help somebody. It's the most random thing ever, but hey, someone might have the same problem that I had. And I guess I should mention before I close out this video that my car is back working perfectly fine. Everything is back to normal since I changed out the sensor, so that was definitely the problem. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today. If you like what you saw, don't forget to subscribe down below and hit that bell so that you get notified every time I post a new video. I typically don't make videos like this, but stay tuned for the next one. Don't forget to follow me on my social media. Thumbs up and share this video if you know someone who has this random problem as well. And thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and stay tuned for the next one. Bye.